What's up, expats and travelers alike? I'm Josh with Expats Everywhere.
And I'm Kalie.
And today is our review preview show. On today's show, we're going to talk about the cost of living on Penang Island, Malaysia, since there has been interest in one of our Penang videos.
And then after that, we'll give shout outs to the comments from our YouTube channel and our Instagram. And then finally, we will review the video that we posted last week, which was about Mexico, and preview the video that's coming up about Fiji.
Fiji! We've actually done a ton of videos on Penang here recently, so we'll put those in the description below so you guys can check those out. If you've never visited Penang Island or even heard of it, let us tell you a little bit about it before we jump into the actual cost of living. Penang is a state called the Malaysian state of Penang, but today we're just going to focus in on the island itself, okay? So the island itself is about one-fourth of the size of the whole state. Penang is a small tropical island off the west coast of Malaysia. There are currently under 750,000 people living there specifically. It is a really multicultural place and a foodie's paradise, pretty similar to Singapore in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did I mention it is a former British colony and English is spoken widely there. So if you English-speaking expats, it's easy.
That's great. Georgetown is a UNESCO World Heritage City with well-preserved colonial buildings mixed in with Chinese clan houses. And then there's also an Indian influence with Indian temples around. Penang is very well known for its street art, where you can go on a hunt for the various installations, which when we were there, we really enjoyed.
Yeah, we'll put some of those pictures in here so you guys can check that out. All right, so let's get into the cost of living now. It's a good place to retire because the cost of living is so low, but it's definitely not just for retirees. Maybe you don't consider yourself at this point of life where you want to retire or maybe can retire, but Penang is so affordable that if you're making a certain amount of passive income, you could easily live there comfortably. Whether or not you want to consider that retiring, I don't know, that's up to you.
That's always great. So let's see. We're talking about a minimum. What is this passive income amount that we think is the minimum? It should be around $1,500 US a month.
I think so.
And that doesn't consider health insurance, which we will get to later in the video. Your biggest item, of course, for your monthly budget is going to be your rent. Now use Property Guru as the best place to look up apartments so you can find how many bedrooms, bathrooms you want, location, and all those things.
An apartment along the coast, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath, will run you pretty big range, anywhere between $350 USD and $1,000. Why such a wide range? Well, it comes down to the quality of build and the amenities.
And then something that's a little more inland will actually cost similar. If you're looking for a landed house, then expect to pay more because you'll have a garden, things like that.
Could be much more, yeah.
Electricity, water, and gas for cooking will be around $100 a month.
Yeah, so moving on to other costs. A cell phone can start from $10 a month. TV should be under $40, and internet should also be under $40 USD per month. Transportation is a tricky one. You can choose to buy a car or use car sharing like Grab or Gojek. Both of those are popular. It's like Uber, and they're fairly cheap. They do have buses for public transportation, but they aren't great, but they're doable. Bikes are a good option as well.
Right, especially if you're staying local. Bikes are really good. Groceries depend on how local you want to eat. Obviously, you're going to spend more on imported goods, but you can budget around $200 per couple for groceries. And you can eat a tasty and filling meal out for about $5 or so. If you go to a proper posh restaurant, it's going to be more expensive. If you stay local, it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, that's right. And for entertainment, a good rule of thumb would be to consider the price you would pay in the States or Canada or maybe even the UK. Divide it by 3 or 4, maybe not the UK, but because of the currency exchange. But entertainment can be things like massages, escape rooms, movies, etc. You always have the beach nearby too, and that's free. The weather is tropical, so think hot, humid, and rainy. And since you're only 5 degrees off of the equator, well, the weather stays pretty consistent all year round. It does fluctuate with how much rain you're going to get, though. Earlier, we referenced health insurance. A lot of people are actually choosing to go uninsured and pay out of pocket when they need to because it's so low. If you do want insurance, lower level insurance will cost you around $30 to $40 a month.
Right, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of the cost of living in Penang and why we give it about $1,500 a month. It's super affordable, and it obviously depends on what kind of lifestyle you want to live.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and move into our shout out section.
Woo!
But before we do, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications from us.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in for that, and let's jump into the comments. Our first comment is from YA from our review preview video about Saudi hospitality. YA said, I just want to thank you guys for the positivity and for saying good things about the Saudi people. Saudi is not a utopia, and we are not angels, and every place has good and evil, but for sure, the media coverage of Saudi is not fair. You guys are doing a great job in bringing people together and spreading positivity, so thank you, and God bless. Yai, thank you. It's so nice to hear when someone gets the ethos of what we're doing. We try to be positive and objective while bringing people together. Now, we know that some of our interviewees are not, they're subjective, but we're trying to be objective about portraying that to you guys. And they're people's opinions, you know. These types of comments, though, that you give us are really encouraging, and we just want to say thank you. God bless.
Our next comment is from Zia Khan, who simply just said hi. So we just want to say hi back.
Hey.
And thanks for watching. And then we have Kevin and Miranda Albert comment on the video we just loaded this past weekend with Kristen. And
yep.
Kristen is someone who helps expats get a good idea of where to live with relocation. The video was about where to live in Central and Eastern Europe. And in that video, they said, Georgia, 1-year visa, free entry for Americans and Canadians. So thanks for giving that information about Georgia and offering Georgia as an option in that region of the world.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, I think it could be a place that we would find ourselves doing a year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and finally, this is from our Instagram, because we are active on Instagram as well. Virtualaris, we had like a conversation back and forth, and Virtualaris was commenting on the Sofitel Damansara in Kuala Lumpur. That's a hotel that we've stayed at, and I've stayed out on business trips. And we love that hotel, and we commented on their beautiful pictures and just had a nice dialogue back and forth. So we agree, it's an awesome hotel, it has awesome services, and it's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it's a really pretty hotel, especially if you want to be in that area of Kuala Lumpur.
Yeah.
Because Kuala Lumpur is so spread out. So if you want to be in that area, we would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, when I say pretty cheap, I mean like for 5-star hotel. Yeah, it's cheap. All right, moving on.
Thanks for the comments, everyone. Keep it up and be sure to check back here weekly to see if we give you a shout out. Okay, let's head over to where we review and preview what's happening on our channel.
All right, last Sunday we posted an interview that Kalie did with Bob, who is an expat in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and who owns a company called Expats in Mexico, where he helps people by providing them information about moving and living in Mexico.
He does an online magazine, and it's super comprehensive, so make sure you check that out, especially if you're considering Mexico. And then this coming Sunday, we'll be posting an interview with Shantae, an interview that Josh did, who is an expat in Fiji. One of our travel Fiji videos has been very popular lately, so we're excited to share with you an expat's experience about living in Fiji.
Yeah, I actually reached out to Shantae after we did a review preview and highlighted one of her posts, and she was super willing to do an interview with us, so I can't wait for you guys to see that. Lastly, don't forget to check the community tab on our channel so you can vote. Our latest question is just a fun one that I was asked from a podcast I did with Kristen, who we interviewed from our latest video. Check out her website, Traveling with Kristen, to hear the podcast.
And don't forget to go on and vote on that community tab.
All right, so on the community question in the community tab from this past week, we asked, what's your favorite morning beverage before starting work? And we put some options on there, some of the typical options, and then maybe some that aren't so typical. But we ended up having 26 votes, and the overwhelming majority was 46% said coffee was their go-to morning beverage.
I agree.
For me, I'm a water guy. So your go-to coffee?
Definitely coffee.
You know, I prefer water because it is really good for the system when you first wake up and you're dehydrated. You know, you've probably used the bathroom a few times in the middle of the night. I mean, I know you have. But yeah, I prefer to get hydrated before then I take on the tea and the coffee and that.
Yeah, but chug a glass of water and then enjoy the coffee.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I sell coffee, so I should say coffee, but I'm going to say water.
Okay, you say water.
You need water to make coffee.
True.
All right, we had 27% said tea, and then water came in third at 15%, so go water fans. I'm with you.
Now, funny one, the hard stuff, so whatever hard stuff you want to think of, 4%. Right? Some people got to, maybe you put the hard stuff in the coffee.
Oh, yeah, you could, yeah.
You could.
A little Irish coffee.
Yeah, there you go. And then 8% said other.
Yeah, I'm curious to know what the other is. So what is that other beverage that you're reaching for? I'm curious. If you can leave it in the comment section on the community tab, that would be awesome because I'm very, very curious to know what other is. I thought we had really the comprehensive stuff here, but maybe not. Maybe beer? I don't know.
Maybe. That's all for the show this week. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.